Today we've got a huge list of scary videos and creepy content, so hit that subscribe button for more scary videos just like this. This video is going to show you a rather interesting aggressive Arc Hunter build being done on the solo GM this week. I haven't got any Hunter solo gameplay for Sunless this particular week, so this video answers that. Even though I've soloed the GM on Hunter at least 6 or 7 times throughout this week, on non-brawler days as well. But anyways, let's go through this. It's a good day for Hunters. It's a good day for all classes. Brawler and Arc Surge is up. Yes, and we've got Grit. Now then, we need to understand, a few days ago, Sunless Cell was 50% easier than what it is today. Because there was a mod on called Glass Cannon. This is a 50% damage resistance buff to the character. Bugged. Glass Cannon is bugged. If you run any activities in Destiny 2, Glass Cannon is giving you free damage resistances. What I'm trying to explain to you is, today, Glass Cannon is not online, not up, which means the GM is 50% harder. Ads will hit me 50% harder than what they did a few days ago. Grit is on, but we're not counting on dying. This will be solo flawless. Grit, I actually looked into it. It's a 90% damage resistance if you die 30 times. There's an actual, that's the mod. I've looked it up online. It stacks up to 90% DR. Grit. Obviously we don't use it, right? But I'm explaining it to you. Anyways, I hope you understand that this is a harder version of what it was the other day on Titan and Warlock for me. Okay? I hope you understand it. Right, Arc Surge Brawler, Raging Shroud Bane, Solar Threat, Battlefield Promotion, right? Champions are Unstop and Barrier, we know that, for Sunless Cell. Okay? So, Aspects and Fragments and Build, Arc Strider, Gambler's Dodge, Combination Blow, Pulse Grenade, Tempest Strike Ascension. Fragments aspect of Shock, Frequency, Ions, Resistance and Focus. Pairing that with the Exotic Chestplate Raid and Flux. This gives massive amount of super damage to the Roman Super Arc Staff. Now then, Arc Staff is coded currently in the game by the Super Stat. The melee stat will not increase Raid and Flux's damage. It used to, and they nerfed it. However, that's not the end of the story, lads. It's not the end of the story. The next story is, which I knew this ages, and I'm telling you it again, Hunters, is that the Brawler mod buffs super damage for Raid and Flux, or any super that's Brawler-esque. Arc Staff is within the category of being Brawler-esque super. It gets benefits from the Brawler modifier, meaning that you can one-cycle champions. You can one-cycle minus 50 subjugators. It's insane the damage it does right now today. Yeah? Armor mods, here they are. Okay, won't go too much into it. We've got some stacks on stacks stuff, elemental time dilations, some fonts, super fonts. There'll be a dim link for you. The armor, this is more important. I'm using 2-piece Swordmaster and 2-piece Ferropotent. Now, I would like to run 4-piece Swordmaster, but I haven't got all the correct stat distributions, because I am using a glaive and I am doing melee stuff, right? So we could go for 4-piece Swordmaster, and if you've got 4-piece Swordmaster with Paragon, with melee super weapons for every piece, then that would be amazing. Go 4-piece Swordmaster if possible, but I haven't got the stats. In an ideal world, I would like Swordmasters on every single piece with melee super weapons, but it just isn't going to happen, lads. The game's too difficult to farm stats. There's too many armor sets in the game now, and too many stats to farm. And there's no way of focusing on target farming armor. It is an absolute nightmare. And we're actually getting fed up of it. They need to fix this ghost mod or buff it very soon. Like, alright, they're not going to do it now. Well, they need to do it in March. Okay? You need to get on to Bungie about the armor grind. It's no good in the game anymore. Especially if you play free characters. Too many armor sets. Too many stat distributions to worry about. If you main one character, it's fine. If you main 3 characters and you play all builds, melee, specialist, gunner builds, every build in the game's not playable on that level anymore. The vault just isn't. Look, we haven't got enough vault space. We haven't got enough vault space for it. We haven't got enough vault space. We haven't. How many times do we have to tell you? Hang on a minute. Where's my number at? We haven't got enough vault space. 9999. We haven't got the vault space. I haven't even got all the stats I want, and I've still got 999 pieces. Man, we need to get that locked in. Stat-wise, high melee, high super. My weapon stat is low, but it's fine. We're on a brawler GM today. Weapon-wise, our splendiferous, stupendous, super energy regenerating combat bow. One of the best weapons in the game. What's that? You haven't got it? And you can't farm it anymore? Well, I don't know. Get on to Bungie again about that. Why have we got 4 more weapons like this in the game? Nobody knew it was 4 more until Renegades launched. Mercury here. Kinetic Tremors, Attrition Orbs. I've got Opening Salvo for stunning unstops. Vex Caliber is the start of the show. You can build craft around Vex Caliber and buff builds up. We can add more survivability to this class, which has a little bit less survivability than other builds, right? With the Void Overshield. I'm using Star Wars Sniper because of Blight technologies in the run. Now then, Vex Caliber will work with Power from Pain Singularity Blade. Yeah? You'll be able to make it work where you can get debuffs and stuff. And you can get Devour, but there is a little bit nuances to it. Because the melee damage from Tempest Strike doesn't always count towards Devour. But a regular melee would if you got 3 kills back to back. However, I don't want to bog you down with that too much. Just that the Void Overshield is incredibly well. It goes really well with this build. Okay, you'll see it in the run. Now then, just one other thing as well that I've noticed as well, or been thinking about. Whenever Brawler GMs come up, what two classes supersede Hunter every time? Warlock, Lightning Surge, and Titan Consecration. On a melee-based build, Titans and Warlocks are way ahead hunters. They're way ahead of a hunter, right? And the reason for that is because on Prismatic Hunter, there's no good melee-based builds apart from Combination Blow, but the Ad Clear and AoE from Combination Blow is far worse than Lightning Surge or Consecration Titan. I have a solution. The solution is very simple. See this aspect here, Tempest Strike. Pop him on Prismatic, yeah? Pop him on Prismatic, and then you could run an aspect, right? On Prismatic Hunter, like Tempest Strike, and use melee-based builds on Transcendence gameplay. Imagine pairing that with Stylish Executioner. That would be the answer. That would solve the Hunter melee problem that we have in the game. Some Hunter melee builds are strong. You know, there's some combination blows where you go invis and that, and, you know, it's old-fashioned though. Nowhere near as good as Lightning Surge or Consecration. So the solution for it is put Tempest Strike. We need a Prismatic update. Put Tempest Strike as an aspect on Prismatic Hunter, and all of a sudden that will change everything for hunters on a melee level. Yeah, they're very good for grenade gameplay, but they're not that good on melee-based gameplay, apart from some combination blow builds. But Tempest Strike would be much more useful if it was on Prismatic as well. Okay? But it is powerful on Arc, but Arc Hunter's not as good as a Prismatic Warlock. It's not as good as a Prismatic Titan, is it? We know this. Yeah, but build's still powerful, especially what we pair it with. And we're going to get a lot of supers back via Mercury and such. And a lot of overshields, and we can, as I say, melt the bosses in this. So on with the run. Okay, so here's that aggressive solo GM on Arc Hunter being done. Remember, disclaimer, Glass Cannon is not on. The GM is 50% harder than what it was a few days ago because of that. Yeah? Okay, so we're looking to build up our combination blow stacks here with Tempest Strike. I keep dodging, yeah? Get a stun with the bow, which I need to do 2 shots. Look at that half damage. Then I go in with the glaive, because the glaive will take advantage of the brawler stat, or modifier. And it takes advantage of the stat as well. So it's a good pairing for that as well. Obviously, we're going to get Overshield. Now, pay attention to super regeneration in this massively. I'm already half, look. Because I've got hands on. Yeah, and I've got a lot going for this build with super regeneration, of course. So I'll get a stun here. Yeah, then I'll go in with my melee. I've lost my combination blow stacks. That's okay, though. I can farm this unstop for some super regeneration. And mid-stun, we can protect ourselves with the glaive, okay? So the champ isn't quite finishable. I should have got him finishable there, to be honest. Guard goes up. That's it. Unstoppable Glaive would have been nice for this. We get weak there. That's okay, though. Not the best champ of the GM run, to be honest. But it is awkward in that little room. Anyways, that's that Unstop dealt with. Got my orbs. Look at how many stacks I've got. That's stacks on stacks. One orb will give 2 stacks of armor charge. That's massive. In long GMs like this, well, it's not long, but in longer activities, you know, having larger amounts of time dilation means you've got more fontage, more super damage, more melee damage, more all the goody stuff. We're in a font meta. We're looking for our Unstop. Look at that. Look at the damage with Vex Caliber there at the end. I finish him off. Then I've got my Overshield here still. Okay. Overshield runs out. I've got a super to pop. I'll use my super on the wizards. Yeah. Remember, we don't need to deal with the first wizard. By the way, this was a B grade run. And I'll say that in a minute. Let's just get this super out. So I'm going to use the super to deal with the 3 wizards. So front, back, left. I will kill the Unstop if I need to for score, but we'll see. I don't think I do. I don't think I need to. You can skip this Unstop. I'm going to talk about score in a minute. So we'll just get rid of this wizard. There we go. Look at that super. Look at how long it lasts. Yeah, although what's happened there? I guess we missed our heavy attack at the end. That's okay, though. Can finish him off with our melee abilities and such. Now then. 800 points. We don't get any more points. Are you seeing the score counter? It's bugged, this room. Once you complete the room, you don't get any more points. Do you see that? Look at it. So I was going to kill you Unstop, but I was like, there's no point. I'm not getting any points. Look. When you kill the Farm Wizard, that's a bug, that. It's weird. Another bug. There's all these inconsistencies with the game, man. Because the 800 points is a little bit less, but we can make up for that. I generally like 1,000 points. But I was farming super. I've got 3/4, 90% to a super. Okay? So that's your next step. Is after you've popped that super, to gain some more super energy for the next part. This will speed up the entire run. Okay? It's all about strategy with supers. We're going to use Blight Tech, and now I can talk about points a little bit. A guy the other day told me, if you run C-grade solo GMs, well, C-grade Grandmasters, you will still get chance at GM shiny weapons and tier 5 gear. I have watched runs where people have sped run this GM in 7-8 minutes and they only get tier 1 loot. Now then, I just go with B grade runs. I'm more likely to get a GM shiny weapon from my findings, but I'm only one person, one man. We don't know if that's correct exactly or not. I can only go from my personal experiences. When I do C-grade runs, I never get GM shiny weapons. I can't recall any time me getting a GM shiny weapon on a C-grade run. Yeah? So I go for B-grade minimum because it gives you the bonus focus. Don't we understand that people are looking up videos to find out how to get accelerated assault weapons? The bonus focus is always least. It's a very important primary. If you haven't got a good roll before the week is out, make sure that you farm this GM at least a little bit and try to get some rolls on it and try and bag yourself an accelerated assault roll. To do that, you need to do B grade runs. I am standing by the rule of doing B grade rank runs. I won't do C grade runs. Why? For what? I feel dirty when I skip too many champs as it is. I'll feel even more dirty if I start skipping every single champ in the run. I don't want to. I don't want to do that. I hope we understand it. Because players don't play like that. Now then, blights are taken care of. I know I get weak. We're playing aggressive. Got the health of Tempests. Yeah, we go in. We're risking it for the biscuit. We're entertainment. We go in with the glaive. Yeah, for the overshield. Now I'm building up combo blow times 3. Pulse Nade goes in middle. Watch this damage. Watch this. Yeah, combination blow damage. I'll do another one if I can, but I can't. So I pop super. Pop Roman super. Remember, Arc Staff gives 90% damage resistance. You get 90% damage resistances on most Roman super. Look at this. Look at that subjugator. Minus 50. Melted. We melted him in one super. There's your proof that Brawler stacks with Arc Staff. How many times, hunters? It's always the same with you, lads and lasses. Every time I say I'm playing Raid and Flux, Use lads keep putting it into the classics box. Every time, it's always the same. I bet you I get comments today. Oh yeah, I used to love Raiden Flux back in the day. What do you mean back in the day? It's as good as it is ever right now. Use it. Talking about back in the day. Stop putting Raiden Flux in the classics box, Hunter Mains. And start proper doing stuff, right? You are throwing by using Gathering Storm. Gathering Storm Hunters, sit down. Because I'm tired and sick of telling you. Gathering Storm's a terrible super in the game. It's really bad right now. You don't need Gathering Storm for anything in the game. If you're using a super like that, you use Tether instead. But you would obviously be on Prismatic now. That's what we're talking. You don't need it for bosses because Tether's better. Silence and Squall's probably even superior. So then what's the purpose of Gathering Storm? It needs a buff. It's not even good. Arcstaff's way better than Gathering Storm. Way better for many reasons. Look at what we're doing with this super here. We're clearing the entire room out. Okay, and a champ, Look at the bang for the buck we get with it. $1 per minute on super usage. $1 per minute. It's like a Destiny 2 vending machine. You put a quarter in. How many ads can I get off it? And you get a lot of value. Family pack size super. Okay, we're going with our dodging. We don't always Ascension. It's quicker just to dodge. Ascension's nice. We use it here and there for Amplified. But we don't need to always use Ascension. Sometimes it's better just to gambler's dodge. You do quicker Temper Strike back to back. It's quicker to get the second follow-up. Now look at what's happened there. We guard with Vex Caliber with a Void Overshield to debuff the boss. You can debuff bosses with Vex Caliber because it works with Void Singularity Blade. Look at the damage. Half damage to Ogre. Half damage to Ogre. Now pay attention to super regeneration. Watch what we do here with this. Okay? We're duck, dive, dodging and hustling. I'm hustling to the end. Not wiping for nothing. Playing very, I don't know, vicious. Vicious. We're not going to orbit. And if we wipe, we will not wipe. Not on this run. Look at super regeneration. Orbs made. Hip fire. Hip fire with Mercury here. You don't need fully charged shots. There we go. Super goes in and he's debuffed. He's also weakened. We are doing so much damage now. Ogre gets wiped. There we go. That's the room done. Do you realise how quick that is? That was quicker than my Warlock run the other day. Like time-wise, at this stage. At this stage, I would get to about 28 minutes. So I'm a minute ahead of a Warlock meta run at this stage. But the run does start to slow a little bit in Shrieker Room, which it would do, wouldn't it? Because obviously, Arc Hunter is not better than a Warlock, Winter's Guile, or Fellwinter's Helm. It's not, is it? Objectively, it's not better. But we can buff Arc Hunters up to be very powerful in the game. This build right here is very strong. You could solo any GM with this build. All of Portal, all of it. I can't see anything that you wouldn't play it with. Okay? Obviously in Equilibrium you wouldn't use it because it's Equilibrium you want DPS. You're up against dungeon bosses. So you want DPS, you want Tether and stuff, right? I'm talking Hunter now here. But that's not the identity of this build. This Temper Strike build is for combatant gameplay. It's not for DPS. It's not a DPS class, but it doesn't need to be a DPS class, does it? It's got a role. It's got a purpose. Now I'm going to take all the streakers out. I'm going to try and get an angle. Who's put them ropes there? Can we get a petition to get them ropes down? Because I can't hit the streaker. It's every time. Now I can a little bit. Them ropes are in the way. They're eating my shots. Use a bit of bow here. See what KT's doing. Yeah, Kinetic Tremors should be doing more damage. Even Kinetic Tremors is suffering in GM. It's even Kinetic Tremors is suffering. And bear in mind, it's one of the best traits in the game. For GM level. You just see how it is, how bad it is for primaries in GM. Man, they need a buff quick. But I need to deal with these Void Shields. Vex Caliber's good for that. Because those Void Shields are beefy. They're not gonna get destroyed quickly with the bow. So I'm gonna have to whip out a bit of this. This is where the run slows up a little bit. It will do, isn't it? Because when we're up against the Shriekers, we haven't got the quickest of range damage right now, have we? Like for speed and stuff. But I want to deal with these 4 acolytes first. Then I can start to work the room. What I'm trying to do is work the room, okay? Remember, for every acolyte killed, you get a dog. So technically, the ads you see in this room are doubled. Isn't it? So it can be a bit misconceived and looks like there's not many ads, but there's loads because they're doubled. Because you get a dog. Look, dog, every acolyte a dog. Can catch people off guard because that dog could spawn as a bane. Right, left and right shriekers. I could have optimized. This is part of the run where I could have optimized a bit better and saved about, I don't know, 90 seconds. Could have done. But what I've also noticed is people are starting to have a go at me as well about GM mods. If I upload a video 4 hours before a reset, people are complaining that the mods keep changing. Look, we've said this. Yeah, we've said that the shelf life of YouTube content is 24 hours because the portal is 24 hours and the GM mods are 24 hours. We've been on a 24-hour cycle now for, my gosh, how long? Since last summer 2024. What can I do? I'm not a dev. I can't change it for you. I've made the GM feedback video. Hopefully Bungie watches it because they need to. Right, to establish what the hell they're doing with this playlist. Because people are starting to get pissed off. And they're getting pissed off with me. It's not my fault, you know. It's not my fault I upload a Brawler GM run 4 hours before a reset. And then they get to watch the video as reset happens. It upsets people. It does. It's FOMO. It's either you're up and down with these GMs. You're up and down. One day you're like, oh, GM's great. OP mods are on. And then the next day you're not. Next day you're fed up because there isn't. So they need to address it. I'm sick of tired of telling it, but it is upsetting other people. So I just thought I'd mention that. I'd rather get a video up after reset so that the video has a bit more shelf life. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm getting the video up now. Because I could farm for more optimal runs. But, I mean, if I take an extra hour of farming a run, that's robbing an hour or 3 hours off a random guy who wants to copy this run and they main a hunter. Do you see the problem now here? And everybody's got different time zones. Depends on what country they're from. Yeah, I'm European time zone. Yeah, which is actually favourable for Americans. Americans get the best deal out of it, actually. Because yous lads are 5 hours behind me, which means yous have got time when I go to bed to do the run. Yeah, we have to keep an eye on that because Americans, most of them are my audience. So that yous lads get the best deal. Now I do melees in middle, melee dodge. I get weak from Shrieker, 90% damage just from super saves me. And we're going to play very aggressive on this Warden. I'm going to leave that Shrieker up, but I should have probably killed the Shrieker. But at least you get to see very aggressive gameplay and the build works. What you need to understand is this build is working. So super goes in, yeah. I get an Ascension here. That's the thing about Ascension. It's knocking me up where the Shrieker is, which isn't good. Now I go in with the Glaive. Taken Warden is half HP, which is not ideal. Okay, I needed more damage on him. The super wasn't super optimal because I popped it a little too soon. But that's okay. Look at what the survivability is here. Look at the survivability. There we go. Get weak. Boom. Glaive. This is one of the best glaives in the game. If it wasn't for Winterbite, Vex Caliper would be the best glaive. In actual fact, I think it is the best glaive overall. Because Winterbite, it does more damage. But Vex Caliper's got Void Overshield. And Void Overshield is probably the best elemental resistance in the game now, if you can spec for it. It's better than Frost Armor, better than Woven Mail, better than all of it. Right now in the season, you can debuff targets because of Void Overshields. You can get Devour. You can do all this. Look at how weak we get. Super Pop. Look at that. See, now we have a super to burn, so it was fine. I should have found a bit more attrition orbs on him. That's okay. Like I said, I could have optimized that room a little bit more. But look at this back end of super. I killed the Unstop. And the Acolytes. Look at that. So even though, you know, we used the super to finish off that boss, we still made use of it because it lasts so long. The longevity of Raid and Flux. Like I said, stop putting it in the classics box, Hunter Mains. I've been on good terms with you for the last 2-3 months. Been making great builds for you. But every time I do a Raid and Flux one, it's always the same. Oh, I used to love this build in Leviathan. I used to love running this in Callus. Same comments every time. Why? Don't put it in the classics box. It's good right now. Like if I was a hunter main, this would be one of my main classes. This one right here. Especially when Brawler's up. I'll be running this a load of the time. Look at what... I'm going to show you the clip. Hang on a minute. This is going to be great, this. Watch this. Super goes in. Need to kill these ads for a B grade score. Need to kill these ads for a B grade score. So we're killing them. But just watch this damage. Right? So then you hunters can really listen. Watch this. Barrier Grim. Boom. One heavy attack. And then he gets light swinged. To the 7th dimension, that Grim. You'll never see that Grim again. All he will see is green code for the next 7 years. He'll never get to see Destiny 3, that Grim. I feel sorry for him. Because I'll get to see it and he won't. There you go, look. That's all the proof that you would ever want. That this is probably one of the best supers to use in the game. For the capabilities that it's got. Now look at this. We debuffed the boss with Vex Caliper. So we've used it as a mini tractor cannon. I'm using Vex Caliper as mini tractor cannon. We send the boss with one super and we kill a wizard. Now this run just gets better from here. It is S+ for this boss fight. It is so easy. It's not even funny how easy it is. I would even say that this is easier than the Brawler run I done on Consecration. For the boss fight. For the boss fight, yes. Because we can spam supers. I'm going to use the bow. I'm going to use the Mercury A-Tech. Look at the Mercury A-Tech. We keep making orbs. I had a combo blow. It just ran out, but I was using it. Look at the super regeneration. Look at the technologies. Look at the Mercury A technologies. Four more bow that you haven't got. How does it feel not to have it? Actually, I feel bad for you that you haven't got it. Everybody should be entitled to a Mercury A of their own. Super goes in. 3 light heavy. 3 light heavy. Just like Praxic Blade, but it's in a super. 3 light heavy, he's debuffed. We're going to send this boss also to the Matrix dimensions. Okay? I'll finish off the rest of the ads with the super, and I'm going to farm another super before he sends. Temper Strike, Dodge, 2 Curse left. I've cleared out the entire room as well, whilst we were super, and we were clearing out all the ads, because the boss was jolted, so it's doing ad clear, and boss DPS. Boss goes in Viz. Now super, look at the super, half super. This is better than Outbreak Perfected. I hope you understand that Mercury has got better super regeneration than Outbreak Perfected. Do you know that or not? You should know it. Look at this gameplay on this wizard. Wizard pushing me hard. I drop down my guard and immediately do Temper Strike dodge. And it clears out everything. Temper Strike's super strong, but notice how narrow it is. It needs to be girthier. The blast radius of Temper Strike needs to be girthier. It needs to be triple the width. It needs to be like one of those hard plastic rulers you got at school. It needs to be triple the width. Because you use it and it misses ads. Consecration Slam never misses ads, does it? It's girthier. It's got more width. Even Electric Slide's got a bit more width than your Temper Strike. So Temper Strike, whilst very strong, it's harder to use. And that's Hunter all over in PvE, isn't it? Everything about the Hunter's harder to use than Warlock and Titan. And that's what people have had complaints about. Mainly over the years. Overshield goes in so I can weaken. Yeah? Then I go in for super. Look at the unstop. We've got him from the door. By the way, that's where they spawn from. So if you super here, it's the best place. Clear out all the ads. Then I'm doing boss damage. Champ goes down. Easy look. Back end of super's finished. Guard goes up. Overshield. Get my reload. Check my glaive energy. My guard. My shield break. And to the players who don't like glaives, that's another thing as well, another misconception. So many players, you talk to them about glaives and they don't want to know. You're getting a new glaive coming up. And you're going to have to farm it. The next arms week. So you better start liking glaives. Because it's coming up. And you've got armor sets dedicated to glaives now. I don't know why you don't like glaives. You can't win with some people. Some people don't like swords. They don't like glaives. They don't like... A glaive is a sword though, isn't it? It's a first person sword. That's what it is. It's got infinite ammo for melee. What more could you want? Look at this. We're face tanking this boss. See, it's adding survivability to the build. It's buffing it up in areas that Arc Hunter lacks. Well, it doesn't lack it now. One single weapon will aid that. So it's okay to go off meta-ish. As long as you've got a plan. And the plan, in this case, was Excalibur. I've got super to use. I'm not using it yet. Not using it yet. I'm waiting for ads. I need combination blow ×3 on ads. So I'm waiting for that. I'm waiting for those to spawn in. Okay. I could generate a bit more orbs in the meantime, which we will do that. But the ads are about to hit. I'm just doing Excalibur damage at the minute. That's it. Add spawn in, combination blow. Get my gamblers. There we go. Look at the damage, the chunks now. Now I can chunk them for a few seconds. Look, see. Combo blow, ×3, 10 seconds. So I can chunk them to the next phase. It's imperative you don't pop super yet for this strat. Okay. We're obviously going to wait out that phase. They come in. Block goes in. I'm weak for the next phase. Are ads coming in yet? No, they're not. I thought they would have sent by now. I'm just looking for special. Because I've been spamming a bit of special there. But I've got enough special to finish the phase off. So I've got 10 shots. That's more than enough for what we want to do. There we go. Add spawn in. I'm going to get some combo blow damage in first. Yeah. Then what I'm going to do is debuff. Do a debuff? Oh, I didn't debuff. I didn't get time. That's okay. We're doing enough damage anyways. Didn't debuff with Excalibur. Could have done. So that free light heavy. Boss is nearly killed. But I don't want to finish him off yet. I've got this unstop. Champion is weak. Guard goes up. He isn't finishable though. Okay. Look at that. Get out of free jail card. That's what Excalibur is, isn't it? To get out of free jail card buffs up loads of builds. Makes builds from an A tier to S plus. With survivability. Yeah. So that can be answered. Look at this. Look at the Mercury here. He doesn't know what day it is. What's his name? Obakul transformed. He's trans something. He's hung over from last night. Because look at what we're doing here now. Come on, I need to whip out the bow. Whip out the bow, that's it. Hip fire techniques. Guard goes up, I get weak. So I've got to be careful. There's a risk reward ratio with that. Get weak here, super. I've just about got it. And then we can finish the boss off with a super. So that was a solo GM on a very interesting build. It's very good, honestly. Extremely fun with Brawler. Being able to melt minus 50 VIPs and bosses with this super. It's extremely fun. Temper Strike's not too shabby as well. The amount of damage it does. It does. But anyways, that was the solo GM run for Hunter. Hope you enjoy. Thank you.